Hi, I'm Nancy McDonough, owner of Kyoto Kimono, and I'm here today to talk to you about kimono jackets. So what is a kimono jacket anyway? Well, our most popular style of kimono jacket is the Haori jacket, which you see here. It's very much like a kimono in that it has the same sleeve style, similar collar, but it's missing the gusset pieces that a kimono has to allow it to cross over in the front. So the Haori jacket doesn't cross over. You just wear it open in the front, which will reveal the kimono or whatever it is you're wearing underneath. Another nice thing about the Haori jackets is the lined ones anyway often have just a beautiful lining. This one's fairly plain. This one has some color, but they even get a little more elaborate. And since these are all handmade, at least the vintage ones were all handmade, when you look inside and look at the seams, you don't see any stitching. So they're technically reversible. Another very popular style of kimono jacket is called the Michiyuki. Michi means street and yuki refers to going out. So the Michiyuki is what you wear when you go out into the street. Of course, you wear it on top of your kimono, which is why it's fairly deeply cut so you can see the kimono cross that would happen at the neck. And again, with the Michiyuki, you're looking at a kimono sleeve. So notice how this one is longer than this one. This was made for maybe a more formal kimono, and its sleeve would fit here. This might be made for a more common one, so the kimono I would be wearing underneath this, its sleeve would fit neatly into this sleeve. Now, Michiyuki is the only Japanese garment that actually closes without a tie. It has snaps or buttons, in most cases snaps, with covered buttons here. The other nice thing about Michiyuki is that there's a secret pocket, usually, right here. I have one right here. I keep my keys or my train ticket or my mad yen in there. Michiyuki are not reversible. As I mentioned, Haori can be reversible, but they aren't because of the way they're constructed. So here's their snap, closure. There's a tie in here to keep it straight across the bottom. These are very narrow garments, however, even though they're worn on top of a kimono. They're fairly narrow. They'll fit up to a size 10. No problem. A little bigger, you might find some tugging at the snaps when you sit down or when you move. So these are best for small to medium-sized frames. Now, if you need something larger, hold on. I'd like to introduce you to our Japanese jacket. These are traditional vintage Japanese Michiyuki that we modify to make them free size and able to fit large, extra large, and sometimes double XL sizes. So what we do is remove the snaps and the buttons and the inner ties from a traditional Michiyuki. We fold back the collar, like so, and tack it here and add back the covered button. And what you get is a very roomy, free-sized jacket that keeps the kimono look and style, but can fit up to a size 20. There are several other styles of traditional kimono jackets. We don't get a lot of these, but we do occasionally get some, and I'd like to show them to you. This is a Dochugi, and it crosses over like a kimono. The nice thing about this is it will fit some larger sizes. It has an inner tie here, which you can tighten or loosen depending on how much room you need. The thing about Dochugi, though, is they don't tend to be bright colors. They tend to be an older woman's garment in Japan. So if you're looking for something bright and colorful in a Dochugi style, you're not likely to find it. Another style of kimono jacket you may be familiar with is called a Happi Coat. Most people call it a Happi Coat. So these are made for festivals in the summertime in Japan. They're usually cotton and typically this shade of blue, maybe a darker blue, red, white. And on the collar is the name of the town or the company, the sponsor, who bought the jacket for whoever's wearing it. Oftentimes they make dozens of these at a time. I do not get many of these in my inventory, and you'll rarely find a vintage one. I'm not sure why. This is the backside of the Happi Coat. You'll usually find a large red kanji. This one means matsuri, which means festival. One more style that you may not be so familiar with is called a Neneko. It looks fairly large, and it is. These were traditionally worn by new mothers who put their baby on their back and then put this on top for warmth when they had to go out to go shopping or visiting. So these are quite large. They do cross over, and they have an inner tie here that will also allow you to open it up a little bit more if you need more room. Again, we don't get very many of these, maybe 5 a year. But if you're interested, email me and I'll let you know when we get any in. And this is a Hanten jacket. So it's normally padded, shorter, often has tapered sleeves, sometimes even has a pocket. These tended to be worn at home to keep warm, but they're very casual jackets that they don't really make too much anymore. This is a vintage one. The ones I've seen more recently would be brighter colors. We don't usually get these, maybe a few times a year. But if you're looking for one, we might happen to have one, email me. Kimono jackets are really gaining popularity these days, especially the Haori jacket, which is so versatile. Casually over jeans or as a beach cover-up, party wear, or for an elegant evening out. So try one and add a little Japanese flair to your wardrobe. Arigatou gozaimashita.